So what's up, everyone? Welcome back, episode 44 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast. Have some cool shit I want to talk to you about beforehand. So I have been watching Catfish with my wife. You know, like, we'll usually switch off shows here and there. Like, I'll usually watch The Office all the time. Just like while we're sitting there, if we're eating, if she's doing work, if I'm doing work, it's just The Office playing in the background. But, you know, we finally, not finally, but we like recently got access to the entire, Catfish series, and we just have been watching these episodes, and they are insane. Like, that show is the wildest. Like, people are just the wildest. You know, it's 2018 and they're still coming out with new episodes, and I don't get how. I mean, if you've seen the show, you know how popular it is, and you know that, like, this is a thing that people do. So you know that you could, like, there's technology to, like, Google the people that you're looking at to make sure that they're real. But, like, not even, I mean, you shouldn't even have to do that, because, like, if you're talking to someone for months and they don't want to, like, you know, video chat with you or, like, send you a picture or something like that, like, come on, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if it's too good to be true, then it is, obviously. Like, if you're, oh, we've been talking for 6 years on back and forth. We met on MySpace, and we've been in love ever since. I've tried to video chat with him 50 times, but every single time there's been excuses. Oh, what kind of excuses are there? He's been arrested. Someone died in his family. He's been in a car wreck. His phone broke. Like, there's just, you hear everything on this fucking show. But I'll tell you one thing, it is entertainment. That is for sure. Now, this is where I struggle. I think that, like, you know, the Real Housewives and shit like that is garbage television. I don't know how people watch that. But now, if you think about it, is Catfish any different on the level of, like, reality show? It's a good thing to question. But anyway, enough with TV shows. Actually, one more thing. If you have not watched The Haunting at Hill House, you need to watch it. It's fucking insane. Every single person that watches it, they love it. I don't know one person that said they disliked it. I read some bullshit articles online where people said that the ending was, like, a little bit, like, short or whatever, but, like, people always got something to complain about. I mean, what do you expect? You cannot put something out online without having someone criticize it. Insane. Anyway, the reason everyone's here again, episode 44 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast. I sit down and talk with a YouTube content creator, actually just a content creator, because, you know, she creates content for more than one thing. Her name is Lily Whispers. So her YouTube channel is Lily Whispers ASMR. If you guys do not know what ASMR is, have you ever, like, looked at your Instagram Explore page and you've seen pictures of, or you've seen videos of people, like, cutting bars of soap or, like, eating into a microphone real loud? I mean, there's so much more than that. Like, that's such a broad definition of what it is, but that falls under the term of what ASMR is. And let me try to say it. Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. That is ASMR. I think I didn't fuck that up. But she is a ASMR YouTube personality, and I mean, I guess, like, another broad way to describe it is she makes videos of her performing ASMR. She has videos of her doing tapping, eating, makeup, all kinds of shit. And, like, you know, I've always been curious because, like, you know, I've been that guy that's, like, you know, just on Instagram, like staring at people cutting soap for an hour randomly, and you're just like, why am I fucking watching this for hours and hours and hours? But I wanted to learn more about it, and she is a local girl who has been doing this for a very long time, for as long as ASMR has been a thing. But I was excited to talk to her, and we had a pretty awesome conversation, and I learned a lot. Hopefully you learned some shit too. Thanks again for listening. Make sure you hit me up about t-shirts. I have a limited amount of this design. Once I am done with this design, I'm not printing it again. All the rest of the quantities that I have is it's it. So once it's gone, it's gone. So hit me up, let me know. I got long sleeves, t-shirts, and hoodies. But thanks again. And without further ado, episode 44 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Lily Whispers.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. I have no idea. It's called ASMR.
Yeah, it's called ASMR.
Okay, now I looked it up and I don't remember what it is right now. It's called
Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Okay, so the reason that I thought that it would be interesting, do you have any idea what I do with this podcast?
No. Well, I've listened to your podcast, but I don't really know. Sorry if I'm like screaming into the mic.
No, you're good.
Usually rather soft-spoken.
Yeah, I know. I looked at your videos. The reason I thought that it was interesting is because I basically just talk to people that do things that I want to know more about and that I'm curious about. And, I always like tend to find myself just like on Instagram in like a black hole of like, I guess they're ASMR videos.
Okay.
Like cutting of styrofoam and like
The floral foam and the soap cutting.
Yeah.
And the
Soap
slime
cutting
videos.
Yeah, soap cutting is probably like my most satisfying video.
It is a good.
Is to like watch them cut them lines and then like trim all that off.
And they all fall. Yep.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
tiles. Yep.
So like, first of all, open up the podcast with a bit. It's called What's in the Cup.
What's in the cup?
So what's in your cup?
In this, I'm actually drinking water, but this is the Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, so the Yoo-hoo. You chose Yoo-hoo, which was super interesting because no one's ever chose it, and I probably haven't had it in 10 years. So, I mean, I'm going to try this Yoo-hoo.
All right, well, bottoms up. So good.
It is good. It is good. I do think it's as good. I don't know why I usually go to like a Turner's or like the Turner's chocolate milk or like other chocolate milks like that.
Well, this isn't. It's a little shady because it's not chocolate milk. It's a chocolate drink.
Yeah.
So you get a little and I think if you look up the ingredients,
it's probably a bunch of terrible shit.
Yeah, it is, but it's delicious.
It is
brings
good,
you back.
and it's been forever since I had one. So I'm happy. I'm happy you picked that. Yeah. So like, I came across you just looking through random people in Pittsburgh, and that do. I mean, there's 1,000 rappers, 1,000 people that do the same thing. I don't know anyone that does what you do. So, what would you call yourself?
So, we call ourselves ASM artists.
ASM artists.
Yeah, it's a term that kind of grew with the community.
Okay.
And ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Mm-hmm.
And we create content that is supposed to relax and give people tingles. And I hate that word, and I tell everyone this. I freaking hate that word. Tingles, I like to describe as like a warm shiver.
Yeah.
Like if you ever I don't know, watch someone paint, or if you're getting like a massage, or someone's like cutting your hair or something, and like it's this like tingly sensation that starts in your back and goes down your spine, and it's a euphoric feeling.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be comforting and help you sleep and relax and chill. But yeah, that's kind of what ASMR, like the basis of it is.
Because like I'll look under the hashtag, like anytime I have someone on, I like kind of just creep all their shit and like kind of get just ammunition for things to talk about. But like, so I search that ASMR and 1,000 different videos come up about like of doing all different kinds of shit. There's people cutting soap, foam, like the floral foam, like you said, and like slime and all this stuff. And like, how long has this even been going on?
So I got into it in 2013. I've been around the community a while, and it's changed so much because when I started watching videos in 2013, it was just as simple as somebody getting in front of a camera. Sometimes they would have a microphone, sometimes not, and they would just be whispering and like just trying to create a relaxing atmosphere. Now it's evolved into cosplays and slime and soap cutting, and that's all new stuff. So it's been going on for a while. They put a name to it a couple, I think it was like 2012, 2013, or I mean 2011 or something like that. But it really grew in 2016 when news media started, covering it and stuff like that.
It's pretty interesting. It's definitely interesting to me. Now, what was like the first form of this? Do you know?
I actually don't. I just know that the way that the woman who coined the term, and I cannot remember her name because she founded this Facebook page. Yeah. And people had the sensation, and it wasn't being created by watching videos. People would come across in their daily lives. Like I felt ASMR when I was 6 years old and my friend was coloring with crayons. Yeah. And I thought, like, I had no idea what that feeling was, but it was so cool. And I was like, oh my goodness, I could just watch her color forever.
Yeah. Now, is it different than would you say it's different than like getting the chills? You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I would describe it differently as chills. So it was so funny. My boyfriend was watching, like I was scrolling through Instagram and I was watching some satisfying videos, and one of them was like ice crunching. Yeah. And he was like, ugh, is that ASMR? Like, ugh, so like not necessarily like cringy, but like kind of like nails on chalkboard. He was like, I can't believe like that's ASMR. I was like, that's not ASMR.
No, it's
We're
not.
trying to provoke a comforting feeling, a tingly feeling.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was just so much different stuff on there that I was like coming across. So like it kind of now, I've watched some of your YouTube videos where it's like basically you whisper with a mic, and then like now people like eat into a mic or like like hit nails off of like a mic. Now that's ASMR. Yeah. But so is like cutting soap.
So it's really.
I'm sorry. This is not.
No, it's totally
ahead
fine.
of time. I'm very, very like. I'm not educated in any of this terminology.
No, you're totally fine. Okay. It's interesting talking to somebody who has like no experience with it.
None whatsoever.
Because I've never had to describe like what a sound makes ASMR and what doesn't. But I guess everyone has their personal preference, and that's what makes ASMR so vast. So I personally hate the sound of gum chewing, but I have a gazillion subscribers who love it. To me, that's not relaxing. Yeah. I think that's obnoxious.
I hate when people chew with their mouth full.
But people love that.
Yeah, and it's so, I mean, and I'm sure that there's like, millions of people that like find comfort in all this stuff. There's some things that like I don't get, like people chewing in a microphone, that doesn't like do the same for me as like people cutting pieces of soap, as weird as that is, or like watching someone have like that kinetic sand and like cut that all. Like I feel that like the visual part of it is more what's stimulating to me.
So that's new also. Yeah. Because when it began, ASMR was, described as something that was only sound-based. And only recently did it evolve into something that was visual.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm late to the game on it. Now, where you said you grew up where at?
Beachview.
Beachview. And can I ask how old you are?
I'm 24.
24. Now, I'm 28, so you were ninth grade. Now, were you big into like? I always go back to this, but were you big into like MySpace and shit?
Yeah.
So, I just feel like people that like you're. I mean, would you call yourself a YouTube personality, or is there a different term that's like?
I don't know. I guess I never see myself as that because it almost seems narcissistic to say like I'm this or that. You know,
it does.
So,
that's why I ask people like what you would call yourself, because if I say like I interviewed a photographer last week, like I don't know if like some people get offended if I just say like a photographer rather than like some other gaudy term if they have one, but.
Well, I like to call myself a content creator because I do YouTube.
Creator.
I also like take pictures on Instagram and things like that. And I've recently gotten into Twitch streaming. So
Twitch streaming. Now Twitch is just like a streaming service that originally came from video games. Is that right?
Yes, and now they have a whole category dedicated to ASMR. But I actually got into it for the video game aspect because I hate limiting myself to one of my interests, and I love video games. So.
You're a video game person?
Yes. I have the Fallout 4 bug. I've had it for like 3 months now. I can't get rid of it.
So you play that. I've never played it. I played it for like probably 2 minutes on virtual reality. My buddy has like a virtual reality setup.
Wait, you played Fallout 4 on VR?
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I think it was streamed through an Xbox through his computer.
Okay.
Because I know that he plays Xbox games through his computer somehow.
Yeah, through a capture card, yep.
Yeah, I have no idea any of it, but he like set it up and it was fucking wild. But the game that I just bought Red Dead.
Oh yeah, I just started playing that. I'm on mission. I'm on the second mission right now.
It's so like I'm not a video game person at all. I loved N64 and then like I skipped all the way until like Black Ops.
Okay.
Played that for like a month and then that was it.
Yeah.
The only other game I've played through is The Last of Us.
I tried to get through that, but I don't like stealth games.
Yeah, I mean it was just like a movie, but like this Red Dead game, like I think this is my third day having it, and it's just so overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
Any video games really are just overwhelming to me because I get super frustrated about shit. But like, so what are you into? Like, what kind of video games besides Fallout? Like, how did you've always been into them?
I was always a Nintendo girl. My first game was Spyro, so I guess I was on PlayStation. Love Spyro, love computer games growing up, like those little educational ones or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got into GameCube games, so loved Mario Kart, Double Dash. Grew up on that.
All that stuff was fun.
Mario Party and all those things. And then I got an Xbox like maybe a year ago. So I was kind of like revisiting the gaming scene, and I started playing We Happy Few, which is a really cool game. It's crowdfunded. Basically, you live in a society where everyone takes joy, this pill, because of World War II was just so depressing and no one could deal with it. It's like this alternate dimension or whatever, and this like dystopia type thing, and you walk around as this person who becomes enlightened. They're like, well, fuck this. I'm not going to take this joy anymore. I'm going to free myself from this little fucked up place altogether.
Really?
It's really cool, but they rushed the release, so I was playing the beta version, which I loved, and then I actually don't really like the actual game. It's so buggy. It like ruins the gameplay. So I've been playing Fallout, recently Red Dead, played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the new one that dropped.
Yeah, he says that's a good. My buddy just goes through all these video games. Like he's like he's into like fitness, podcasting, and just video games. So I don't play video games, but he gives me all like the cool background of it all. But he says Assassin's Creed is awesome too.
It's cool. The game mechanics for me are a little bit weird just because, like, I don't know. I just think that the flawless execution of the game mechanics for Fallout 4 are unbeatable, but I'm also, like, kind of spoiled because, like, that's a game that I got to be good at. And I'm like, if anything isn't like that. But, yeah, love video games. Love escaping from reality for sure.
Now, to come full circle with this, the reason I was asking if you're, like, into MySpace and shit like that is because, like, I know nothing about, like, YouTube people or, like, people that create content for YouTube. That whole world's, like, probably the most uneducated I am. So, like, I just feel like you have to be pretty active on social media to, like, take a path like you have. So that's why I was just curious that, like, MySpace played a big part to you and, like,
social
media like that.
Yeah, you have to see what's out there too. Like
Yeah.
I definitely am subscribed to like probably 1,000, 1,500 channels and like of all different types.
So you watch, like you're like
I
a,
love YouTube.
you consume just as
So
much as
YouTube.
everyone else?
Yep.
Now, do you yourself, before you got into this ASMR stuff, were you someone who watched it all?
So watched ASMR?
Yeah, like were you,
Yeah.
what would you call that stuff? Like a consumer of it?
Yeah, I was just a viewer. It was
viewer,
weird though
that's-
because I stumbled across it in April of 2013, and there weren't a lot of channels doing it. There was like maybe like a handful,
Yeah.
and all the comments were like, "What the fuck is this? This is so weird." And I was like, "Oh, I get it. This is great. Like I know exactly what they're trying to do." I just like got on board. I thought it was so dope.
Yeah.
And then I started making videos a couple months later. So I've always been a watcher. I watch it before I go to bed. I love it. I love the community. It's really cool.
Another girl that I interviewed from the Weeping Glass said that there was, I can't remember the audio it was, but it was on YouTube, and it's like all these different sounds and like frequencies that help you sleep. They're supposed to like relax you like super, super deep.
Interesting.
I don't know. I learned so much shit on this podcast just because the reason I have these people on is because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But so like, what were you like a popular type girl coming up in school? Like, was school a fun thing for you?
No. I mean, yeah, school is fun. Like I went to an art school. I went to
really?
Kappa.
Okay. What is that?
It's a creative and performing arts school downtown.
Okay.
So I went for writing.
Writing.
And then I went to Penn State, which was like, if you think of, Kappa being this very liberal, artsy, fartsy school,
Yeah.
very open-minded, just like everyone was always really friendly and, embraced everything that was weird and different. I went to Penn State, I was in a sorority, and so they shunned that. That was weird, that was different.
Oh yeah.
And so I joined a sorority there, and I guess like I had friends and stuff. I don't think that I like ran shit by any means,
Yeah.
but
You enjoyed school though? Your time in school?
I mean, I guess school's school though.
Yeah. I mean,
I had a lot of fun at Penn State, but like by the end of sophomore year, I was like, I'm ready to graduate. I'm over it. So
Yeah. And like, so you went to school. What did you go to Penn State for?
I went for journalism.
So where did that all come from? Like, whenever you were younger, you were always into writing and shit?
Always. I was always writing stories. Before I could even write, I was telling my parents exactly what to write down. I would verbally tell them the story that I wanted to tell. I would make up
Really?
little characters. Yep.
Are you a big reader?
Yeah, I love to read.
That's
I don't do it
awesome.
as much anymore
Yeah.
for leisure as I'd like to, but when I was traveling, I like crushed a book in like a day.
Yeah.
I love to read.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you went to school for journalism. Now, what was your move after school? Like, were you getting what kind of job were you hoping to get?
So it's interesting. I was making videos when I was in college.
Yeah.
And I kind of, my parent, it was never really an option for me to pursue because the YouTube revenue is so fickle.
Yeah.
Like it's inconsistent. It
Yeah,
depends
yeah,
on
yeah.
how much you put in and like if the algorithm is in favor of you and all these different things and the advertisers. So I moved to Austin, Texas, and I got a job working for an agency. Didn't like my job. Didn't like where I was working. Was really far from home. Had like 4 friends.
Yeah.
And then I think after the first week, I was like, I don't like it. I'm going to move back. And my dad was like, no, stick it out. And
Yeah.
like, I think that was when my YouTube really peaked because I was just so depressed and lonely down there that I was just like putting all of my energy into YouTube.
Now, and how old were you when this was happening? Like 19?
Well, I just graduated college. So I was like
Oh, okay. Yeah,
20,
college.
21, 22.
And how long were you doing YouTube videos before this?
So I started when I was turning 19. So the summer, yeah, I guess I was 19 when I started.
No, that's pretty interesting. Now, you started making these videos, and what was the first video you made?
Oh my goodness. I remember I had thought about making a video because I had a previous YouTube channel where I was like doing beauty content. Like I was like making makeup videos and stuff like that. So
Oh,
I
yeah?
always loved YouTube.
Yeah.
I did like an ombre hair tutorial that like had 300,000 views. Made a couple grand from it, I remember. I was
Wait. Now, put a pin on it. So, how does YouTube work as far as like, subscribers, views? Like, what do people like? When do you start making money from YouTube?
So it actually is a lot harder to make money now. They require 4,000 hours of watch time per month, and they require 1,000 subscribers. before anyone could make money on YouTube. Like you would have 2 subscribers, you have 2 videos, and you would just be approved.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot more, it's like a different type of approval process because YouTube got into some heat with the amount of ads that were being shown on content that the advertiser didn't like, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, so the threshold's a little bit higher for that, but I started I remember it was November, I got my first YouTube paycheck. And you make money through ads. People click on ads, ads are shown, and you get paid through Google or YouTube. And then I think a year later, I partnered with a multi-channel network. So I know it's like a lot of techie terms, but I'm going to try to break it down. Right. So YouTube, it's difficult for them to manage everybody.
Yeah.
So I partnered with an MCN, it's multi-channel network, and I have a manager. Her name is Savannah. She does my brand deal. She helps me with PR. She helps me with press, all of those wonderful things. She was the reason why I was on BBC.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't let me forget to talk about that.
But so I work with them, and they are the ones that pay me instead of YouTube. So they work with YouTube, and then I just am kind of like a creator underneath that creator umbrella.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So you were pretty active on YouTube for how long until like you started to peak? You said like a few years.
Yeah, I'd been doing it, but I wasn't really doing it consistently. So I talk about this before. I don't know if you found my like ASMR story or whatever, but when I was a sophomore in college, I was making these videos. You know, I made them the summer after freshman year.
Yeah.
So I go to sophomore. It was like this big kept secret that I had. And like, I didn't really, it's not like I was keeping it from anybody, but I knew that it was kind of unusual. So I wasn't like saying like, oh, I whisper on, the internet.
Yeah.
And so like right before finals week, like 2 weeks or so before it got out that I was making these videos, everyone was making fun of me. I was in everyone's listserv, which is like, the frat emails and stuff. I was in everyone's group me. People were calling me at night. Like I was getting texts from random strangers telling me to like help them fall asleep. Like just like weird shit like that. And was getting like really bullied for it.
Really?
And so I withdrew from university and I completely stopped my channel. So I wasn't really consistent with it until like senior year of college.
So would you say that like the ASMR is like, I don't know the right word to describe it. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's unusual.
Say. Unusual. That's a better word to describe it for sure. Unusual. Just because like I would feel the more people like, how do I say it? I think that the more people that I know personally just have no idea about it and think it's just like kind of weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like whenever I first watch it, it's like kind of weird. You have people that are like literally eating as loud as they can into like a high volume mic. And like there's so many people that I read these comments and they're like, oh my God, this is incredible. Yeah. And I guess that there's like a part that I'm missing that other people have, and I guess not everyone has it. Would you say that the community, I guess that was the right terminology to use, the community of it is pretty big, the ASMR community?
Yes, and I think that it's bigger than what numbers represent on people's channel subscriptions. So like I think 60% of my viewers are not actually subscribed to my channel.
Okay. How many subscribers do you have?
Like 236,000.
Jesus. That's pretty crazy. Like what is how often do you put out a video?
I try to put out one every other day.
Every other day? Because
of the YouTube algorithm. Yeah. It used to not but be like that. And I have a full-time job also, YouTube is my full-time job. But YouTube rewards activity.
Yeah.
So it's important to be consistent and stuff like that. I recently moved, so I kind of slipped up this week, but I do try to put out a video every other day.
And it's usually like, now whenever you think of the videos to put out, is it, now I only scrolled through a few of yours, and I know a lot of it, there was like eating ones in there was like, just sounds. Now, what, is that like usually your route?
Yeah, so there's a whole other branch of ASMR. It's a trigger. It's called personal attention, and so personal attention is like if you're pretending that your viewer is an actual person. And so I position myself on YouTube to be known for like makeup role plays.
Yeah.
When you think of the word role play, it's easy to have like a sexual connotation with it.
Yeah.
Because of our knowledge of what role play means or whatever. It seems sexual, but I'm just pretending to put makeup on somebody. And those are
like
some of my
to the
most,
camera lens.
and with sounds, and those are some of my most popular videos because 86% or so of my viewers are actually female.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. I would think it would be like, I mean, the stereotypical like weird guy.
Well, we definitely get those. Yeah.
I'm sure we definitely get those.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. I mean, like, I'm sure there's weird girls too. Now, speaking of that, do you have anything like any negative aspect of like you being on YouTube? I'm sure people recognize you and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think
right?
that that's a negative thing. Like I've been out before and people are like, "Oh my god, I love your channel." Like just like last week, my boyfriend was out and someone was like, "Oh my god, are you Lily's boyfriend?" Like bought him a drink at the bar. Like I wasn't even there and they recognized him from my Instagram or whatever.
Wow.
Actually, he was on a video. I made him cook on with like a Blue Apron sponsorship that I had.
Oh yeah, you like Blue Apron?
Yeah, I go through phases with it. I can't like keep up a subscription every week. It's too much to cook. But
Yeah. Same with us. We literally just signed back up again.
I know it's about the time of year where I kind of want to be eating it a little more. It's like hibernation
I just don't
season.
want to go and have to go to the grocery store every day.
Yeah.
It's just super annoying. Plus, it's a good variety, and you don't have to
and you learn how to like make new recipes and stuff.
Yeah, so Blue Apron is always that's good stuff for sure.
But so people do recognize me, but I think that there's the negative part of it when people cross the line of like what's appropriate and what's not.
Yeah.
So I had somebody, and this actually happened to another big ASMR creator that I just found out about when I was listening to a podcast interview that she did.
Yeah.
This guy thought that my videos were made for him. So he was sending me like his phone number and like saying like, all right, I'm in, let's do this. Like, I want to be with you. Stop making these like, I'm hearing you out. Like, I get what you're saying.
Jeez.
There's never been a video where I've been like, oh, I want to date, that's not my content. I'm sitting there tapping on something. But I do positive affirmation videos.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, you're talented, you're kind. And so for somebody who maybe isn't on the same planet as us, could think that is directed towards them. And so this guy actually was like crossing a line and would send me hundreds of messages.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like immediately whatever I think of. It's like if you're an attractive girl on YouTube that's doing things like that, I mean, it's so easily accessible to just like watch all your videos and like get attached to you. I'm sure that like that's immediately what I was thinking of is like, I'm sure that like people like overstepping their lines and like being like creepy to you and everything like that. And I mean, I don't know. That was one thing that I was curious about because I'm sure it happens.
It does happen, but I think, it wasn't really something that I intended, but I protected myself from a lot of that by making female-centered content.
Yeah.
Because when you start making, and that's awful to say, but like if I make a video for guys, like, yeah, you're going to get fucking creeps,
that's a good point to think about. Like if you're doing makeup, like.
Guys don't really care about that.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. I didn't think about that. That's true. Now, you, like, what was like your first, now, before you started like popping off on this YouTube channel, what were like your videos getting beforehand? Like how many views?
I mean, they were getting a couple thousand. My first video did really well. I think I had like 3,000 views. I was really excited about that. And the feedback was really great. Like people, like I was more excited about the interaction, like the comments and stuff like that I was getting.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the view count. But yeah, it was always kind of a steady thing. Like a couple, I was getting like low thousands, and then it was just like after the first year was like low 10,000s, and like now it's like medium and like high 10,000s, and so it's been like a consistent growth. And like sometimes you have videos that get like 100,000, or like I have a video that had 1 million views or something like that. But
jeez, now whenever you put these on here and all these views like start accruing, Now, how do you rely on getting viewership for your videos without like having a base following? Like if you're just starting out with this, and let's say if I just started a YouTube video or a YouTube channel tomorrow, I have no one that's following me. How do you build an organic following? Do you use like hashtags, how like people use on Instagram and shit like that?
No, but there are like they call it video SEO, but there are like SEO tricks that you can do, like, putting the title early in the description box and stuff like that. I got in at a really lucky time when it was still new. So I kind of like was one of the earlier creators, and I'm still one of the only consistent ones. Like a lot of people who started making videos when I made them aren't on the platform anymore.
Oh yeah.
They got doxxed by people. Doxxed means like they found their home and their family and got harassed off the internet and stuff like that, like scary shit. And a couple other creators just like stopped doing it. They lost interest. They're like, not really for me anymore.
Yeah.
But anytime people leave, there's like 100 other people who want to be doing it and pop up overnight.
Oh, I'm sure, especially now. I mean, everything's saturated.
Yeah.
Since we all have like a cell phone with just like, all this social media, everything is so saturated. It doesn't matter if it's a clothing line or a podcast or a YouTube channel.
Yep. And so ASMR was pretty new, and so it was a low barrier to, like, I forget what the word is, like a low entry barrier or whatever the phrase is. So like a lot of people could do it and blow up and be good at it.
Yeah.
But now everyone's doing it. Everyone's buying this microphone that we all use, the Blue Yeti, and things like that.
What's so good about that?
So it's a condenser microphone, and it picks up the little pops and little mouth sounds that people like, and they think are tingly. So.
Oh, okay. Now, is that a pretty expensive microphone?
It's about $120. I've never bought mine new. I always get mine on eBay for like $60.
Yeah, like my microphones were like, I think they were both used, but like $90.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Now, there's just so much shit that's just popping into my head to like try to sort out with all this. So, what do your YouTube videos get now? Like, how many views?
It depends. Like my makeup videos always get upwards of like 100,000, like 50,000 views per video. My eating ones and my like other interests, like my video game ones, like get like 10,000 or like 20,000 or like 30,000 views or something like that.
Wow.
I think my average view is like, or my average views are like it's like 70,000.
Now, do you do all this like post yourself? Like, do you record and do the editing and shit like that?
One woman show.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's the best way to do it. You don't have to rely on people.
Yeah.
So you said you have a manager and you have people that you work with. Now, do people approach you for that, or did you approach people to find representation?
Oh man. So I was getting a whole bunch of emails from MCNs because it's just a way for them to monetize content because they take a percentage of my revenue. And so it becomes like an issue of like, okay, what are they going to provide me that's going to make up for the 10% that they're taking, or whatever percent you have negotiated. I have like a really low percent because I've been with them for like 4 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I did get approached. It's difficult brand sponsorships is actually a really great way to make revenue because of how fickle YouTube is. So, a sponsored video is actually really great because a lot of my content gets demonetized. That's a whole other thing. ASMR is seen as controversial, especially because erotic ASMR is unfortunately now a thing.
What is that?
Like sex ASMR.
Oh, like sounds of it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And so like people make it really like sexual, and so it, I always tell people, and that's a question I get asked, like, oh, isn't it sexual? Isn't it sexual? And it's like, no, because I'm sitting in front of a camera pretending to put makeup on a kid or like my best friend or something like that. Like I'm not making my videos with the intention of, stimulating somebody or arousing someone in that way. But people sexualize, and there's little category,
I mean,
they can sexualize anything. There's categories of, we all know what is out there on the internet. So.
Yeah, for sure. There's a ridiculous black hole of everything. But, for someone that's like not involved with it and not like behind the scenes of it, someone who's just very new to it, it does feel almost in that same world of like, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, is erotic the word, or just like
And I can understand why people see that, but to me, the way that I like to describe it is like it's more intimate, it's more sensual, because when you think of something that's relaxing, you're not on a bus in a subway. That's not relaxing. You're not in the middle of downtown, whatever city you're in.
Yeah.
When you're relaxing, you're taking a bath, you're listening to relaxing music, you're in a forest, you're getting your hair cut done in like a very quiet atmosphere. Like those are relaxing things.
That's
They're
a good
not
way to
always
think about it.
arousing things.
Yeah.
But people can make it arousing, and people can, like, that guy thought all my videos were for him. People
that's
totally
wild.
misinterpret.
That's definitely crazy. Now, do you have an obligation with the people that, with your representation or like Twitch or whoever, are you obligated to put out videos, or are you just like how does something like that work? Like contracts with MCNs and YouTube creators? YouTube creators?
Yeah. So my management is, I say management, but she's like I don't know, we like have this team. Like I hate calling her like my manager, because like I do my thing, she does her thing, and we just kind of work so cohesively. Like we have a really great thing going.
Yeah.
But it really is up to me. Like they know that I have a full-time job. Like it's not really like one of those things where like you have to put out a video every other day. I wanted to do that because I wanted to grow.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of YouTubers do to grow, is they put out more content. I don't know. Everyone has their own upload schedule and things like that. It really depends on your bandwidth. I was signed with an MCN with my beauty channel, and they wanted me to put out like 4 videos a month.
Okay.
And I hate when I am told what to do with something that's a hobby.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it doesn't make it fun anymore. It's like, okay,
yeah, it
wait.
makes it work.
Yeah, exactly. So anytime my channel feels like work, I stop.
That's a good point. That's a good way to look at it. It's I don't know. It's just also interesting. Now Twitch. Does Twitch have? You said that it has its own channel for ASMR now.
Yeah, it's really new, like a couple months ago.
Now, do they have other channels, or is it just like games and ASMR?
They have games. They have just chatting as one. They have like an art one where people will like use Photoshop and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think they have a cooking one. They have a talk show one. They have a whole bunch of stuff. I think live streaming is just going to take over TV.
Is that now? Do you do live streaming?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I do. And I did ASMR. I've done an ASMR live stream. I've done like a just chatting one where I just like sat and smoked hookah with my followers, and like we just chit chatted about bullshit or whatever, and like I'll play video games too. So
wow, that's pretty crazy.
It's really cool. I really like Twitch.
Now, what do you do for your full-time job?
I work in digital marketing.
Now, how is that?
It's great. I love it. I have so many different passions, and like I can't see myself just doing one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think all humans are pretty multifaceted in like the best way possible.
Yeah.
And so I love YouTube. I love Twitch. I love my job.
Yeah, I mean, like they kind of go hand in hand a little bit.
They kind of do.
Now, do you get benefit from your full-time job to help you with the YouTube shit and everything, or is it different?
No, completely different. They're totally separate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I mean, like as far as knowledge of learning, like marketing wise.
Yeah, but I don't pay to advertise my YouTube channel. Like I did,
yeah.
I think like a while ago when I wanted like one video to do better, but like I didn't really see any crazy results. The one thing that helped me was I picked a coworker's brain about video SEO, and that
What
has
is
served me.
SEO?
SEO is search engine optimization. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, behind Google. Like
Okay.
2 billion searches happen daily, like on YouTube or something ridiculous. It's insane. So if you learn how to optimize what people are searching for, then your videos will show up more for that query that people are entering.
Is that like keywords and stuff like that
exactly.
with videos?
Yep. And so that's what I do for my full-time job. But obviously not on YouTube.
Yeah. Wow. And are you like this just, you said you went to school for journalism.
Yeah.
How did you get into this world?
Oh my goodness. So I took an internship. Actually, so I wanted to go to school for advertising. Like
Yeah.
that's what I wanted my major. I didn't meet the GPA requirements, and I called my dad, and I remember crying and being like, I'm going to be a broke reporter in the middle of nowhere working for no money. And my dad was like, Lily, chill the fuck out,
Yeah.
whatever. And I had knowledge of YouTube, and I loved numbers. I love YouTube analytics. I love seeing the demographics of people. I love seeing what they were searching. I just loved it. And so I applied for an internship at a company in the South Side that does digital marketing and analytics and stuff like that. And thank God I got it, because who knows what the fuck I would be doing right now. So I always tell them, like, thank you guys for, launching my career. And so I just fell in love with it.
That's cool though. I mean, like, it's cool you enjoy your job.
I have a lot of young viewers, and they're always like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Like, I'm going to change my major. And I'm like, dude, your major doesn't fucking matter. I majored in journalism. I was an international studies minor and English minor. And like, I now work for like a humongous corporation doing digital marketing. Like, it just is crazy.
And you enjoy it though.
I love it.
Now, digital marketing is so to dumb it down a little bit, people, it's how to...
So it's paid advertising.
Yeah, so
you give me X amount of money.
Okay, to market your posts and shit like that?
Yep, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google AdWords was my bread and butter. That's what I started.
Google AdWords? So
when you look for something on the internet and you see ads for whatever you're searching for, that's what I do.
The creepy things whenever you go on your email and it's like what you were looking for pops up randomly on just like that banner?
We don't do the creepy stuff, but that is what I do. Okay. That would fall underneath it, sadly.
Now maybe you would know this just because you're more in the world than I am, but why is it that you'll have a conversation with someone about something random, like someone told me about truffle hot sauce? Very random.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds delicious. I'm sure it is. But we talked about it and it just randomly popped up on my ads with Instagram. Well, do you know why that happens?
No, and I've had that happen too. And Apple lies. I don't know what kind of phone you have, but I know that the big cell phone companies lie and they say that they're not listening.
Yeah,
but when
100%.
shit like that happens, it's like...
You gotta be.
Yeah. So I have no idea. I wish I knew, because I get the same shit. One time I was talking about my grandfather getting CBD oil because he has like back pain.
Yeah.
And now I get these really spammy, disgusting CBD oil.
Yeah, like
ads.
the gross ads that don't even look real.
Yeah, that they're like numbers for letters and shit like that. I'm like, this is clearly spam.
Really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now you brought up before a little bit that you have been given opportunities with this ASMR stuff, and one of them was that you went to talk with the BBC.
Yeah.
Now,
Aaron Hesselhurst.
That's crazy. How does something like that come across?
So it was really interesting because my manager said, hey, the BBC is writing this article. They wanted to talk to you. Would you be interested? And I said, yeah, of course. It's fucking BBC. So they wrote an article, and then about a week later, my manager, Savannah, said, hey, they want to interview you. They want to bring you on live TV. Are you going to be in New York, or are you going to be in London anytime soon? I said, no, I'm going to be in Paris for vacation.
Yeah.
And so I went to Paris, and I was on live television talking about ASMR on the business section with Aaron Hesselhurst.
That is crazy.
Yep.
Now, to put in perspective for people that, I have everyone of all different ages, all different types of people that listen to this. Now, you said you have like 220 some thousand followers?
236 or something, yeah.
Okay. Now, how do I want to say it? Now, you started off, like, what was a big jump? Like, did it, at one point, was it like a floodgate where like people just started, where you started catching on very, very quickly?
No. And I wasn't ever one of those creators who blew up, and I always envied that, because there are creators that would just like put out a video and were really good and everyone flocked them. Like, I had a very consistent, like, if you look at my growth, it literally looks like a seesaw, like it's just like,
so it wasn't like nothing and like 2 videos made you spike and like get 100,000 overnight.
No, it was just like, it's always been very gradual.
Now, the reason I ask that is because, like, obviously, if they talk to you on live TV, you have to be some sort of figure in that world. Now, how many other people are in the ASMR world that that are in your ballpark? As far as
hundreds of them. There are hundreds of creators.
Really?
There's a bunch with like 2 million. I'm a smaller creator if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it for a lot longer than any of those other people.
You're more intelligence about it. Education.
Watch the community grow from all different angles. I think that's what makes my perspective just a little bit different.
You said the majority of your people are younger females?
So my age range, I think it's like 18 to 34 is the main chunk.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more women that watch my videos. But I do have a very strong, like 14 to 17% girls that watch my videos, and they're very cute. They all tell me to adopt them. Like, they want me to adopt them. Not they want to adopt me.
Yeah, like, so it has to be like a different type of world where you have like people that, I mean, some people treat their favorite YouTube stars like, you know, like a god. You know, like people just
look at PewDiePie. Have you know PewDiePie, right?
No.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
So
Whenever I tell you I don't know
PewDiePie-
anything about YouTube, I don't know anything. Someone just told me about Casey Neistat.
Yeah, he's a big time vlogger. He's actually my boyfriend's favorite YouTuber.
See, I don't find. Listen, I'm very transparent on this podcast, so I don't want you to think of any disrespect from what I say.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I do not understand, you know, the YouTube vlogging. I don't understand, you know, people. I almost don't understand podcasting. I think the reason that I don't do video is because video makes it feel gross to me as far as like, you know, I feel like people, whenever I'm talking to people, it's very distracting to like, you know, even though I'm a consumer that I like to watch a video podcast rather than just an audio one, I just feel that like, you know, video is just so much, it's like a whole different,
Realm.
yeah, whole different realm. Like I feel like that it's just, you know, it changes it. Whenever I watch people talk to like, you know, my wife does wedding makeup, and she's always watching like these YouTube things and like that, and I watch it and I'm just like, you know, I don't understand like you were saying you put makeup on like a camera lens, like do you feel weird when you do that?
No, because I get into character about it. Like I've always had just like I've always been very imaginative. Like I wrote little stories and came up with little characters when I was younger, so that doesn't feel weird to me. And when I think about when I want to figure out how to do something, the first place I look before even Googling it is I look on YouTube.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to install a light bulb. Obviously, I don't need to do that, but like, I'm sure people do that. You know, there's YouTube videos for everything. It's the how-to place. It's the beauty guru place.
Anything you want.
Anything.
I found a YouTube on how to replace my car antenna in a 92 Buick. And you're just like, you know, I wonder if there'd be a YouTube video in here. And sure enough, there is.
Yeah.
The exact video that you need. It's just there. And it's like, you're thinking like, who the hell is that person that made this video? And it was some redneck ass dude in the backwoods, just like literally at a junkyard, filming it with this shitty phone. But I got the answer that I needed to. It's just so wild that like you know how many different YouTube channels there are?
I have no idea. I mean,
it has to be like a million probably, right?
Probably more than that. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Easy. And there's for everything. I also don't really get the vlogging thing. Like, I don't... Like, making a video every day sounds terrible to me.
Narcissistic, it sounds to me like...
It's like, why do I care about your life so much? And, like, I know that sounds kind of rude in a way. Like, I feel like it's kind of rude because it, like, insulting the people who do that. But, like, I'm in marketing. So it's like... Why do I care? Like, what is so interesting about your life that's going to make me tune in? And there are very few vloggers that live such interesting lives.
Yeah.
And that's why, so YouTube is built around sensationalism now. And this clickbaitiness. So everyone's like, today I watched this video, this girl found teeth in her Chinese food. I was like, I bet this is fake. Well, actually it was fucking real. And that was really disgusting.
Yeah.
She found literally 2 molars in her Chinese food. It was disgusting. And like, but people make videos about that, and like they always like there's big story time videos like, oh my goodness, I was almost kidnapped, or like, you know, and it's usually not really like that. They didn't actually almost get kidnapped. Somebody went up to them and asked them what color they were wearing. You know, something dumb like that.
Very embellished or whatever, just to like to keep it. To keep the sensationalism, like that's what it is. It's I don't know. It's that's why I'm not like very very hip to all the YouTube stuff. Is just because like I'm not like a consumer as far as like that world. Like I never like go on for like motivation or anything like that. But I know that there's people out there that like, you know, live by some people's YouTube channels and shit like that, where they have to watch their videos every day. And, you know, I look at some of them ASMR, like the video counters on like Instagram or YouTube. Some of these little 6-second videos have like, you know, 3, 4, 5 million views. And I don't know, it's definitely an interesting world that I have no, like there's so many different things that I try to think about to ask, but it's such a foreign, it's a foreign world to me.
So there's something that's been coming up is about kids doing ASMR. It's been like this subject of conversation in like YouTube realm for like the past 2 weeks. And I was trying to describe it. It was like when we grew up, what did we do as kids? We went outside and we kicked around a ball and we went to the park and we played. Well, now kids, they don't do that. They might play outside, they might dance, they might do a sport, but they aren't playing outside pretend the way that we did. Instead, they watch YouTube. And so when they think about something fun to do, that's making a YouTube video.
That's a good point.
And so I think it's like, I mean, I know that a lot of my viewers are older than me and younger than me, but I do see a big trend in the younger generations, and that's where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, like I know people that have kids that just like whenever they're like fussing and like they just give them a phone and like their kids just like are obsessed with like one of them is my younger cousin just watches what the hell is that called, Fortnite, just Fortnite videos. You're just like, what the hell are you doing? Like these kids don't even go out and ride bikes or anything anymore.
But they don't even play Fortnite. They watch people play Fortnite, and that's so different. It's so different.
Now, do you think that that's do you think that it's a negative that there's so many people, like that the world is so saturated with all this now?
No, but I see it. Like recently I've been in this creative rut where I've been like, what new sound can I come up with? And I think as creators we always go through that. Like we get a little burnt out after a while. Yeah. And we see all these people and it's easy to fall down that negative spiral and think like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing this enough. Or, things like that, just being hard on ourselves. And so I do notice that there's so many new creators coming up and like so much out there that it's almost like discouraging and I get sick of it. Like I literally had that thought the other day. I was like, God, there's a million people who are doing this now. Why am I still doing it? Why do people care? But like I do it because I love it. It's a creative outlet for me. I love my community. I would not trade that for anything in the world. Yeah. And it is weird to think about though. Everything's getting oversaturated. I mean, look at our population though, so it's inevitable. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, what do you think would happen if like you just stopped doing ASMR videos and you did, just reviews of current event type shit on your channel? You think a lot of people would just like abandon you and unsubscribe to your... So that's actually really funny that you say that because I see a lot of creators who start with doing ASMR, like a lot of young people. And I'll give an example. There was this one creator who was like, I like my ASMR channel, but now I'm going to start making this is going to be a lifestyle channel. And I don't want to do ASMR anymore. So this is just going to be me doing my lifestyle. And people are like, I came here for ASMR. You aren't doing it anymore. Goodbye. And they did get unsubscribers, but there were people who genuinely liked the person as a creator and they stuck around. But I'm all about like just for my marketing mindset. Like if I were to do something else, I would make a different channel for that. I wouldn't do it on my same channel. I think that that's kind of shitty. Like you grow doing something and then you just switch it all of a sudden because you have like a following and stuff. Like,
No, and you've consistently been a fan of it for all these years. Like you've consistently, it's not just been like something that you've been in and like kind of phased out of. Now, would you say that it's still consistently growing, the demand for people that want ASMR stuff?
Yes, I think that it is. But I do think that because it's so... like it's just been blowing up so fast. Like W Magazine makes ASMR videos with celebrities. Like Wiz Khalifa made an ASMR video. IKEA made an ASMR ad. McDonald's had an ASMR ad with John Goodman. Like it's this thing that people are cashing in on because it's one, lucrative, two, it brings in views and people like it and people need it, genuinely need it to fall asleep or want it to relax or things like that. I hate using the word need because I don't think anyone really needs anything. Yeah. But I think everyone wants something new and fresh. But the thing about ASMR is because if you think about content, you don't go back and watch your favorite video. I mean, you might, but like if you watch something and you consume it, then you're done with it. So you want the next thing. So there's always going to be this desire as the community and the viewer amount grows. Like as news media begin to cover ASMR, there's always going to be like an influx of new viewers who want new things and the same viewers who want something else too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense for sure. It definitely makes sense. Now you personally, what's your favorite to consume and what is your favorite to make?
So I really like makeup videos, and those are the ones that I like to make too. It makes time go fast if you're into it.
Yeah.
I love like a good whisper video because those are the first videos that I consumed. I don't really like all of the heavy sounds and stuff like that. Like those are really, really popular, but I myself don't relax to those, so I don't make them as much on my channel.
Yeah. Now, you said a whisper video. Mm-hmm. Now that is just basically like I saw some of your videos like you whisper like your name is Lily Whispers on YouTube. Yeah. Now, do you there's people that just whisper?
Yeah. Well, they do all types of things. Like I don't think that if you go to one person's channel, you're only going to find one thing.
Yeah.
People like to, unless it's like a niche channel, like an eating channel, then they usually only eat on there. But like a lot of creators like to throw in different things, but whispering always was kind of the start of it. And then it grew into like soft speaking, and then it grew into tapping, and then, it's always been kind of those things, but it's, everything's just evolved with the technology and the experiments and stuff like that, and innovative people who found different triggers, and triggers is what we call them, is the sounds that triggers. ASMR.
Now, is there anything that you're not a fan of? Any type of ASMR that you're not a fan of?
Yeah. God, there's so many.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like I don't like the eating videos.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
I do them
to me.
because people like watching me eat. I'm like, great, if I'm gonna sit here and eat dinner, might as well do it in front of a camera,
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I personally don't like the eating videos. I don't like the gum chewing videos. I don't really like, I don't know, some types of videos, like, I don't know, the kid ASMR is hard for me to get behind sometimes because I'm not really sure that I'm convinced that a kid should be on the internet in front of the entire universe and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of weird sounds out there. Like one that's really popular, and I just couldn't get behind it. Like to me, just thinking about it, I'm just like shuddering. Ear eating. So we have, I'll explain. So
ear eating?
Yeah. So as ASMR has grown and developed, so has VR. And ASMR always aims to become more and more immersive to allow you to escape from reality.
Yeah.
So there's this microphone called the 3DO. I have one. And it literally mimics the human ears. You might have seen it in a couple of videos. It's white, silicone ears. A lot of companies have done the same thing, and they make their own. But people will just nibble on these silicone ears in front of the camera, and it sounds like someone's nibbling on your ears, and like people love it. And these videos gets millions and millions of views.
Really?
Yep.
See, that stuff is just crazy to me. That's a perfect reason of like why I wanted to have you on, and like, I mean, I just feel that there's so many people that still don't know about this, and whenever I say like so many people, I just think of like my direct people that I'm in contact with. Like, I don't know a lot of people that are just like, I think that everyone sees these videos on Instagram and like sees like them on the popular page and everything. And some people are like, what the fuck is this? And some people are like me, where I'll just get stuck, whether you're, about to fall asleep and you're just scrolling through and there's someone literally just cutting up sand. I'll watch it for 20 minutes and it's just like terrible. And then my whole explore page is just filled up with ASMR stuff.
Yep.
And it's I don't know. I that's why I felt that, I have people that come on here that are music producers and like beekeepers and,
That's cool.
mental people that work in mental facilities. So usually I'll have like a response from all different types of people. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a grave digger on. This guy just dug graves for like 16 years of his life.
Oh my goodness.
And he was only 30, so he started whenever he was 14.
Oh my gosh, I could not be imagining being out digging graves when I was 14. Whew.
Well,
Pissed myself.
It's like the reason that I I do what I do is because like I feel that everyone has like an interesting path with all this stuff, and like for you to be so passionate about what you do, you have reasons, and I think that people's reasons behind the method behind the madness is like what's like interesting about it. Like everyone will see these videos on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and people will never really, I feel like people like me won't go deep and like kind of see the reason behind the reason people make this stuff and like where it came from and why it came from that. So like that's why I thought it was interesting to like kind of hear where everything came from for you, because like I know that there's different types. Like my wife she fucking watches pimple videos, and it makes me
people
sick.
Love those.
It's
People
the
watch those
worst.
before bed.
It is the worst. It weirds me out. But I mean, I guess there's all different types of people that do all different types of shit. I don't know. The ASMR stuff is just very, very different to me.
It's interesting to describe it to somebody who has very little knowledge or no knowledge about it.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of kept me going though is that I had proof that it works.
Yeah.
And that's why I like my career, because I have that instant gratification of, okay, you give me X amount of dollars, here's your ROI. Like that is so
ROI.
Return of investment.
Oh, okay.
So like give me X amount of dollars, I'll give you X amount, and things like that.
Yeah.
And with YouTube, I mean, you see that with revenue and stuff like that, and that's great. But like, I don't do YouTube for the money. I have a full-time job for that.
Yeah.
It's great, obviously. But getting the emails that I get are just so humbling.
Of people like responding to the content that you're putting out and relating to it in a certain way.
Yeah, and I don't get them anymore because I was getting a couple weird from that guy. It was like my bad experience, so I had to take my email off, and so all my emails now go through my manager. But when I first started out, when I first disappeared, like I made my channel private, and like I literally was like, you would have thought that I died. Like I literally just like erased and privatized everything.
Yeah.
I got this email from this guy, and I think about this to this day, and like I have a friend who I showed it to, and she even thinks about it to this day. And like I don't know if this was like a real guy. I don't know if it was like, you just don't know about people behind the internet. But this guy told me that his daughter had a really awful condition that was eventually, I forget what it was, and I don't think that he fully disclosed it, but she had some type of terminal cancer, or something like that. And he said that I was a topic of discussion at dinner, and he was like, you have to understand what you do matters to people. And I remember feeling really selfish for disappearing because I didn't really realize that the impact that I had. And for me, I was and I knew that I was relaxing people.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't know that it was going as deep to somebody who had, a condition or something like that. Like, and people tell me that, it helps them with their crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
And things like that, and helps them sleep. And
it's so interesting because now with your experience with like all the feedback that you get with your like big following, do you yourself get like anxiety, like feeling like I have to put out content for these people? Like, do you like this podcast? I just consistently want to put out an episode every Thursday. I want to, and I think it's easier for me because like, it's easy because there's no video. It's easy because it's not live. I could just, have someone come over and have a conversation. But like for you to have like the process of making a video and having to edit it and having to make sure it's perfect, like, do you feel like a certain amount of pressure?
Not to make content, but to put out good content. Yeah. Like I was going through a phase where like, I don't know, I was like really stressed at my last job before I took my new one. I was getting like muscle twitches from anxiety. Yeah. Which still haven't fully gone away. It was just like so crazy. My body was just like, chill the fuck out, Lo. Yeah. Like you need to relax. And so I wasn't I was doing YouTube to keep it up, but I wasn't doing it to like, because I was enjoying it, because I didn't want the algorithm to hate me. Yeah. Because if you go inactive, like YouTube has a tendency to kind of like just not favor your content anymore. But anyway, so I mean, that's not always true, but like it's weird. The YouTube algorithm is like a mystery to us all.
I think they're all weird, right? All the algorithms.
Yeah, they Facebook, never disclose Instagram. Fully. Yeah, what ranks and what doesn't and stuff like that. They keep some of the cards to themselves. But I was missing a whole bunch of editing mistakes in my videos And so I would always get anxiety about people putting timestamps in my YouTube comments because I would go to it and I would see like me messing around with the mic and making like a big banging noise and like not realizing it. Now you can go back and like edit the video and stuff like that on YouTube and it'll be fixed instead of like having to re-upload the entire video.
Oh, really? You could do that?
Yeah. And so I've been doing that lately, but like I would always get anxiety about like putting out a video. And still sometimes if I put out a video, I don't want to read the comments immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
and do you have like a genuinely it's positive feedback in the comments? Like, do you get negative shit?
oh, everyone gets negative shit.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about YouTube probably is that any person
could make a fake name or use their name and just roast you.
Yeah. But so I found this, and I strongly feel that like, yeah, there's freedom of speech and all that shit, but I am not anyone's fucked up punching bag. Like I will not be roasted by anybody. And like, keep your negative shit out of my comments. Like I just don't think that I need to be exposed to that.
Yeah, like why even have it? You think about them people on Facebook and shit that just comment to make random comments to literally no one in a pool of 10,000 people. Like why the fuck do you even do it? You just want a response from people. Just don't say it.
Yeah.
You're just fucking miserable. And you have to try to project it on other people. I will never understand that. And I talk about it with numerous people that have been on here. The people that, you know, even my family members will comment dumbass shit on these random chains of posts and, you know, puts in an opinion out there. And you're like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Right.
I don't know. I'm sorry I went off a tangent.
No, you're absolutely right.
It makes me go crazy though.
No, And then you have to think of like, what kind of sick individual are you to say half the shit? Like I've gotten some weird shit. Like I've gotten some mean shit. Like I've gotten, you know, just awful messages. Like
it's
whatever.
People that I wish I had that much time to be able to,
like, what are
you know,
doing?
take the time to go and comment dumb shit. But like, how do you yourself like disconnect from that as far as like, you know, keeping that from discouraging you?
So I have a little trick that I did. I Googled a Christian cuss word like a white or black list of words. So it's literally every single spelling of the word ass. So it'll be like @ with 2 cash things. And then it's like bitch. And it goes down every single profane word.
Yeah.
And it's like a list of like 5,000 words. It's like insane how like these Christian moms, you know, they just compiled this list. And so I uploaded it as a list of words that are muted on my YouTube channel. So they go through review process.
Look at that. That is
so I still see them sadly, but like they're not just floating on my channel for everyone else to see and comment. My favorite thing to do if there's a real nasty one, I usually approve it and then I pin it on the comment. Yeah. And my followers will just roast them.
Yeah. Cause do you have like a name for your followers?
I call them lily pads. That just like randomly just came and people thought I was saying lily bats once when I said it. So somebody was like, "Oh my god, I love being a lily bat." I'm a proud lily bat from Canada or something. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking cute." But no, I like calling my subscribers lily pads.
And where do you have people at? Everywhere.
All over the world. You would be surprised. Like I have a Discord with like a lot of. So Discord is like it's kind of like Skype for gamers. Yeah. It's like chat, like Slack or something. And so I have a Discord for all of my for my subscribers and stuff like that from Twitch and YouTube. And one of my moderators is from Finland. You know, it's like he's the homie, yeah. And so it's pretty crazy. Now,
do you have like scheduled meetups and stuff like that? Have you done with people like where you meet your followers?
I've only done one. I did one in Paris randomly because people asked me, and I do actually have and like I was surprised anyone even went. Like I was just expecting.
You had people coming up to you in Paris?
Well, no one was coming up to me, but like I had like 6 to 8 people. They were all girls who came and like had lunch with me, and I was so nervous that no one would show up that I was like, all right, babe, like we're just gonna get lunch. If people come up, then that's fine. But I was a little bit late and there was like a whole little table of people waiting for me. It was so cute. And I had so much fun. And we went shopping with a couple of the girls afterwards.
That's so awesome.
It was so cool. Everyone was so freaking nice.
And I'm sure that that has to mean everything to you to be able to physically see that. And like to be able to it's nothing to you to take like a little bit of time out to I understand that there's people that are just like way, way, way too, crazy as far as like busy and shit like that. Not saying that you're not, but like you're a little bit more attainable than like,
Yeah,
know,
the humongous
Lady Gaga or
ones.
something.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
So I think it's so sick whenever, like, you know, I'm real big into like stand-up comedy. Like, I just love watching comedy and everything like that. And whenever you have like a big name person like Joe Rogan, you know who that is?
Yeah.
So, well, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
He's like, so Joe Rogan is literally like my idol.
Yeah,
you
I was
know,
going
like,
to say, he's pretty popping on those iTunes podcast charts, huh?
I mean, he's the originator of it all. He's
Yep.
probably the reason that half the people that are doing podcasts are doing podcasts. He just made it. He made it something that's cool, you know, to be able to listen to talk radio. But he is a fucking like a goat to everyone that's doing this. We went to see him. Me and my buddy went to see him do comedy. But like, he waited outside for like 3 hours to literally just like talk to every single person that waited in line with him and take a photo. And you're just like, you know, like if I was ever that big of a deal, I would take time out for anyone like that. You know what I mean? So you probably made those girls fucking years to go out there and like hang out with them.
It was so sweet to hang out with everybody. I just saw Jeff Dunham
Oh yeah,
in Niagara Falls. Man, he's a hoot.
I bet he is.
Was like one of my first YouTube videos. He was like one of the first viral YouTubers. You know, with his Ahmed,
Really?
the dead terrorist.
I guess he
Before
would.
terrorism was like, I mean, I guess that was kind of after, but like he kind of added like a lighthearted.
Yeah, I know.
twist
He
to
was
it.
he's definitely wild, but that's a good point. Like I didn't even think about some of the people that, so let's go back from the beginning. Like when did YouTube start? Do you know offhand?
I want to say it started in 2000. It was either 2000 and no.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it in high school. I don't know if I do remember it or not.
I remember it in middle school. So I was in middle school in 2006.
Then
So I think it was
was definitely in high school, 10th grade.
Yeah, but I wasn't watching it.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to think like the first experience I have with YouTube. I think it was like the something of dance. What was called the
the evolution of dance.
Yeah, evolution of
And
dance.
the guy did all those dances.
Yeah, from like Napoleon Dynamite. I swear that was like the first YouTube video I've ever seen, and like I knew that for a while that held like the most viewed, but it's such a weird world. Like we were talking about, like how you can just go on there for literally anything and it just pops up.
Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of people our age go on YouTube for nostalgia.
Yeah,
I was reading an article about that recently. Because there's YouTubers that find like old toys and old video games and play them on the internet, and like it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's
I
super
don't-
wild.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm a big fan of Ellen, and Ellen had that one little kid who reviews Christmas toys. Did you ever see that?
No,
He's like 3 years
actually.
old, making like $20 million or something like that. Just a young, I think he's 3 or 4 years old, and he just reviews toys. And
I know toy videos are really big on YouTube.
it's crazy all the different shit that, like, if you look what's popular, like review videos are super popular, like the ASMR stuff is super popular, and I mean I'm sure that only certain things cater to me because of the things that I've searched, but
Yeah.
like definitely wild. So what is like your next move with this ASMR stuff? Like, do you have things planned for it? Just the same old grind, like you keep it going?
I need to do something different. I was thinking about this like all like month. I just moved, so I have like a new studio space where I'm just able to do my Twitch streaming and also do and film, YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I reached out to a microphone company, Lewitt.
Lewitt.
Lewitt, yeah. They
Leiut?
Lewitt.
Nope.
And they make amazing microphones, and they're sending me some. They come on like Thursday or Friday, and I'm so ecstatic. And
That's
so I'm
awesome.
seeing this like whole like, all right, new apartment, new studio, new me. Like, what am I gonna do that's different? Because I'm kind of feeling like a little stagnant.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna take a little time. I haven't uploaded a video in a while. I think I'm gonna take a little break. Think about what I want to do that's different. Think about what I can contribute, because I think that's what makes you stand out.
Yeah.
Is something that's different. I position myself as doing the makeup thing on YouTube, and I love it. But I'm 24 now. That seems so superficial.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to grow out of that a little bit. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll see. I'm excited to see how these microphones sound and what I can do with it.
Yeah. Now, now as far as like these YouTube videos and everything like that you do, is there someone that you're a fan of, as far as like, do you have like a
Yes, oh my goodness. And it's so cool because the community is really small, like
Yeah.
of the creators. So like we interact with each other on Twitter, but like I kind of like fangirl with like one of my big ASMR, creators like responds to me.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is GB ASMR. She has like 1.3 or 6 million subscribers. She's huge. And she does like, I don't know, she's like the cool gamer girl. Like she does Twitch, she does cosplay, she does awesome role plays, and like
Now,
she's just so
what
dope.
cosplay? Now, before I know you said that like ASMR is developing into like cosplay. How does that come into play?
Because ASMR is like it's a line between relaxation and entertainment now. So what's
okay,
better
yeah.
than like watching? Oh, and this is a little homework for you.
Okay.
So check out a creator called Goodnight Moon ASMR. She makes these incredibly intricate, detailed role plays. She made one about a menagerie, like a dragon egg menagerie. I guess that's what it is, right? Menagerie.
I guess.
So, and she handmade these dragon eggs, and they were each different. She brought them up in front of the camera, and she like tapped on them. She's like, "This is this type of dragon egg," and they each had their history, and it's like an hour-long video, and like it's so immersive, and like you literally feel like you're in this realm, and it's so cool. Like
mean,
it's
it
something
sounds
like out of
wild.
D&D or something. And
Do you play D&D?
No, I wish.
Did you ever play it?
I never did, but it seems so cool.
It's fucking awesome. I talked shit on it for so long. Were you
Really?
ever into like Magic cards or Pokemon and things like that?
I liked Pokemon, but I could never get anyone to play with me growing up. Like, I felt like kind of growing up that was a guy thing. I didn't have like a lot of we were busy playing with Barbies and stuff, but I always was drawn to like stuff like that. So, I do have, I don't know, like I'm super into cyberpunk. Like I love steampunk shit and like stuff like that. And I never had anyone who was down to do that growing up. And it's like real nerdy, I guess. Like, but like in the coolest way to me. And like it's so fascinating. But I don't have a lot of nerd friends, to be honest.
I'm a closet nerd for sure. Like I'm into like the whole like fashion, streetwear, and all that stuff. But like I also play some D&D in my day.
Yeah.
And I was very late to it, but it's so sick. Like people are just, I don't know. It's definitely nerdy, but it's fucking awesome.
Imaginative.
Yeah, it's imaginative. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. Especially like nowadays, like we're getting to the age where it's like we have to be doing stuff like that. I feel like in a way we're gonna lose it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
People are they go on autopilot, and it's just go to school, get a job, get married, die.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm just not trying to do that. That's why like I do this podcast shit besides for like my regular job, and my wife has a regular job and does her makeup on the side. And
Oh, that's a side thing for her.
yeah. So she works at PNC
Okay.
as like a quality analyst or some shit. But she's
What do you do
always
full time?
I work at an engineering company. I design, custom pieces of piping. We specialize in abrasion resistant liners, which it's almost like ceramic.
Okay.
It's definitely boring, but I mean, it's all
I
right.
have a lot of engineering friends coming from Penn State.
Pays the bills, I guess.
Yeah.
She just has always been into makeup, so she's seen me doing shit on the side and like kind of just trying to make some shit happen, and she just started doing it, and now she's just like getting all these bookings, and it's kind of going
Awesome.
real well
it's,
for
It's
her.
hard to find a good makeup artist, especially in Pittsburgh. Like,
I guess
I've
it
had makeup
is.
done horrendously once by somebody. I was like, whoo.
I'm starting to learn like all the, I see all the videos that she watches. So like I'm starting to learn these makeup artists. Like there's this blonde girl from Australia who is, she's kind of a big deal, but my wife loves her. So
I probably know exactly what you're talking about. Shan XO. I'm already seeing her. Is she like a platinum blonde like girl? Like who knows?
Yeah, I mean that's probably her. But like I watch all these
That's
videos and it's
insane.
super interesting. Like
Yeah.
I tried to do her makeup. My wife, she has like her little setup upstairs. People will come over for trials and stuff.
Yeah.
She was like, "You would never be able to do this," and I was like, "I mean, I bet you I could."
And you didn't film? Did you film it?
No, but it was. I did her full makeup from beginning to end, and I think she has pictures of it. It was real bad, but it was also my first time. But she doesn't do like any YouTube or anything like
That's
that, or
what I'm
any
trying to
like.
get Cody to do. I'm like, come on, can we do like can you like try to do my makeup in a video? And like, he's like, oh, I don't think so. And
Oh, I could never see him doing it.
no, right? I know.
Never in my
but
life.
he has like a sister. I'm like, how did you grow up and like not?
I mean,
Like, I don't know.
He's just like I don't know. He's the same way. He's like an internet guy.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it would just be different if I seen him doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just imagine him like, you know, just chilling in a corner with a cocktail, just like, you know,
That's
listening
literally
to
him. Let him
listening
do
to
it
Travis
to you, But
Scott.
I'm trying to get him out of his shell. I'm gonna make him do it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I just don't give a shit what people think about me whatsoever. Same thing with this podcast. Like, you know, I don't care if people listen to it. I put it out because I find it interesting. But so you're regrouping and you're just out there. You're gonna try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice that as the industry grows, so do I.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it doesn't seem like any sort of like there's not going to be any shortage of like technology and new shit to like try to do to set yourself apart. Definitely interesting though. So I do an ending segment
Okay.
called Desert Island Questions.
Okay, great.
Are you a fan of The Office?
Yeah, I love The Office.
So Jim has everyone play the Desert Island Questions whenever they get locked out during the fire episode.
Okay.
So I play with everyone. I ask everyone, I give everyone 3 categories, 3 choices for each category to take with you on a desert island to watch, read, and listen to as many times as you want. So first category is watching. So you could take literally anything you want to watch. Whole series, whole anthologies of movies, TV shows, whatever. You get 3 choices.
So I can take 3 movies to watch or 3
You
things
can-
to consume?
You
or
could
it has
take
to be...
anything to view, any 3 choices to view. It could be literally whatever you want. A YouTube channel. It could be a movie. It could be the whole Harry Potter series. It could be a single movie. It could be anything.
Great. So that's easy. It would be the Harry Potter It would be the Harry Potter series.
You're into Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love Harry Potter.
Super
I'm trying to get
sick.
Cody to watch it, and it's been slow.
My fucking girlfriend won't, or my wife, she won't, refuses to watch it.
Right? It's like hard to like, and I was like, we have to go from the beginning. He's like, no, I want to watch one of the later ones. And I'm like, no, trust me, you need to watch it from start to
The
finish.
first one's the best one.
So good.
When he's gearing up, getting his wand and shit. Like,
I couldn't even watch the ending of it until I was like 16 because I was so scared of seeing Voldemort.
I tried to get her to watch numerous times and she just refuses.
Well, now it's on Netflix, so there's no excuse not to.
I mean,
The entire series is on Netflix as of November 1st.
I had it on Blu-ray disc and ready to watch, and she still refused. It makes me sick though, because that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I
like,
love it.
I'm a big Harry Potter person, but okay.
Yeah, so Harry Potter, probably Game of Thrones, just because, God, what a show. I think I could watch it over and over again and learn something new.
I don't watch it. I need to, but I'm too late to it to start now.
You're not, because the new ones aren't even coming out until next year, and so that's the same thing I did with Cody. We went back and watched it, and he was absolutely awestruck. And like you know how he is. He'd be like in more.
He didn't want to in the beginning.
No, he's kind of like he kind of wanted to, and I think he was looking for like a driving force. So you just need to find some motivation behind it. But it is so incredibly.
My wife
dumb.
wants nothing to do with it. If there's dragons or like
Really?
anything like that, she wants nothing to do with it.
So my parents are really big into sci-fi and fantasy,
Okay.
and like my dad was always obsessed with dragons growing up. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah, he has like a whole office of like little dragon figurines and stuff. Yeah, big nerds.
Let me put a pin in this real quick. What do your parents think about this? Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you that before, but I forgot because usually if a parent has a kid that's doing something like online or social media or marketing, I feel like parents are just way out of the loop.
So I remember exactly where I was so I didn't get my license until I was 21.
Okay.
So my parents would drive me around everywhere, like even when I was in college, if I was sleeping over with friends, like my dad was always dropping me off. It kept us close though.
Why didn't
so
you want the license?
I wanted it. I just wasn't really motivated to get it
That
because
makes
like I
sense.
was just getting free rides anywhere. Like
That's a
it didn't
good-
have
hey,
to be
that's
DD,
a-
you know?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I was on my friend's street and I was like, all right, I gotta just tell I had been doing it for like maybe 5 months or so. Didn't really let him know. Like didn't really tell them what I was doing. And I was like, Dad, I'm making these YouTube videos. I whisper. I'm helping relax people. Like I don't know. And my dad was like, that is so fucking cool. He was like, you should read some of our buddies' poetry. And like, he was totally on board. Like,
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. I don't
That's
deserve
awesome.
my parents. They're fucking angels on planet Earth. They are amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My mom was a little bit hard to get behind when I told her that I've been like, she didn't really get it. My parents don't, I mean like they're supportive of it and they think it's cool, but they don't also really get what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But when I was getting bullied at school, my mom was like very, very protective over me doing it afterwards. Like she's always like, if it's going to cause you harm, if you're going to be stressed, if it's going to make you cry, stop, you know? And that's how she felt. She was like, if you're getting bullied for it, well, like just stop. And I'm like, no, like, that's not like me and my nature just succumb to everybody else. You know, I really like doing it. So
yeah, for sure. That's cool. You had a good support system with it.
Yeah. Yeah. They are so dope. They're the best.
It's cool whenever you have good parents because like you hear all the stories about like unfortunate stories, but like my parents have always been, you know, super cool about anything I've ever wanted to do.
Man, I talk to my parents like every day. I was on my phone with my mom for an hour right before I came here.
Yeah, it's the best.
Just chit-chatting.
I call my mom and my dad every day after work.
Yep. It's
they
like
don't
a thing.
answer.
I can't not do it. It's like a routine now.
We won't even talk about shit. I'll call my dad and the conversation will be like, what's up, bud? I'll be like, nothing, what's up? Just seeing what's going on. And he goes, nothing, just, you know, redding up, cleaning up the garage. And I'll be like, all right, well, just checking in.
Right.
And he goes, all right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Love you, bye. And that's
exactly. But just like any type of communication. That's always really important.
That's true. Well, that's good. I was just curious about that because, you know, like if you try to explain some shit to parents and they're just like, what? Like you're trying to start a business on Instagram? And they just have no clue that that's even a possibility, but whatever. Okay, so you got Game of Thrones, Harry Potter.
And I think the last one that I would do is honestly probably The Office.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I do love The Office. I'm actually rewatching it right now.
Oh, yeah.
I just got through Friends with Cody. And now
I can't do it.
What?
I can't do Friends.
Oh, wow.
I've tried.
I cry during the last episode every time I watch it.
I've tried to watch it. I mean, I just can't do that. Parks and Rec, I'm not real big on.
Cody liked Parks and Rec. I didn't think that was that great. I love Friends, though. I think it's so funny. You have to start, like, maybe season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going back to season 1 because we watched, like, season 5 and onward, and he, like, loved it. So now we're going back and redoing. Like, I don't know. I'll just rewatch it.
There's just so much good content out now that like it's hard to get through it all.
Yeah, Broad City is another good one, but I don't think I would rewatch. I don't.
My wife watches that, but like I couldn't get into it. Like it was funny, but it was like almost like too like I don't watch It's Always Sunny. People think that
It's Always Sunny.
Cody
loves it, and I
so
can't watch it.
many people love it. I'm just like I don't get it. Like
I think it's the weirdest humor. I like don't think it's funny at all. Like
some of it is funny, but like
the episode where they all got addicted to crack or something. I like didn't think that was funny. I was like, this is an epidemic. That's
one of the ones that I watched, and like you know, I guarantee if I dedicated time to it, I can enjoy it. But like. I don't know. It's just there's too much other shit that's important to watch.
He was like cracking up. I was like, "This is not funny." He was like hysterically laughing, like crying. I was like,
I know people that swear by it.
Yeah.
All right. So you read?
Yeah, I do read.
Okay. So I usually ask people 3 books to take with them on a desert island.
Okay.
If that works for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't read.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that it might be a little expected, but I would also take the Harry Potter books because I read those.
I've never read the books.
You never read the books?
I'm not now. I was never a big reader. I just got into it probably within like the last 4 years. I started to actually like read for pleasure.
Okay.
But I mean, they're on my list. It's just there was other things that I read before that. But I hear that they're incredible.
They're really, really great. Another series that I like is the Millennium series, like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are really great. I like true crime and stuff like that.
What do you think about that new one, the spider or the girl in the spider's web?
I just finished that actually. That was the book that I read in a day when I was in Europe.
Oh,
it was really good.
The movie looks weird.
Yeah, I didn't see any of them. I like the one with Daniel Craig. I thought that was really cool. I know that they have Swedish versions of it, but I hadn't seen them. But
they're definitely bizarre movies.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so cool.
You're into true crime though?
I do like true crime.
Did you watch the new Making of the Murder?
I haven't even seen the original one of that. I tried to see The Staircase. I saw half of it. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, it kind of got boring. It was like it was too drawn out.
Yeah, I was like after episode 10, I was like, all right, wait, what's
you're like, why are we still? I don't know, honestly. Like,
right? Like that's
I think he does, but like, you know, something for some reason, I would be like, 99% of me thinks like, yeah, dude's definitely something weird going on, but 1% of me is just like, I don't know what the hell the deal is.
Right, but like his first wife like dad the same way. Like
Yeah.
that's the part that really gets me. I'm like,
It is weird.
just a perfect plan. I don't
My
know.
favorite was the Jinx. Have you watched that?
Yes, so fucking good.
Nuts. Those are nuts. And Evil Genius.
Didn't see Evil Genius.
That's a good one. I would watch Evil Genius even over like Making a Murderer. It's about. Do you know what it's about?
No.
Do you know where Peach Street is up in Erie?
No.
It's like right by Barron,
Okay.
Penn State Barron.
Yeah.
Well, they have like this main road that's kind of
Peach Street.
Yeah, Peach Street.
Yeah.
There's like the Quaker steak
Yep.
and everything. Well, I think in like 2002, there was a guy who walked into a bank and robbed the bank, but he was wearing a white T-shirt. He had like something that looked like a metal cane, and he had a pipe. He had a collar bomb on, and he robbed this bank. And got in his car, left. Police pulled him over, and he was like, "These people kidnapped me." You ever see that movie 30 Seconds or Less with Jesse Eisenberg, where he's a pizza delivery guy and people kidnap him and put a bomb vest on him? It's a comedy, but it's like based off of these events. I guess two of these random people kidnapped this random dude, put a bomb on his neck, and told him he had to go he had to go rob this fucking bank. Once he robbed the bank, they would let him know like where a clue was to go get the key, to go get the number to like get it off his neck. Regardless, though, live TV, the dude's head just blew off. They show you that in the beginning, because
This actually happened.
This is all real. The cops are like, the cops think this guy's like a terrorist, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I woke up with this bomb on my neck. I'm telling you, like this thing's gonna go off. It's gonna go off. And they were waiting for the bomb squad and everything like that. And the fucking head just blows off.
Oh my god!
But the TV show is insane, and it's like 10 episodes, but it's pretty good.
Damn, I might have to watch it. Yeah, I love true crime.
Shit.
I love True Detective. The first
Oh,
season,
so good.
Second one couldn't really get behind.
No,
Love
it
Top
was-
of the Lake. If you haven't seen that, it's really
Top
fucking
of the Lake.
amazing cinematography.
That's a TV show?
Yeah, it's
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's about a 12 or 13-year-old girl who's pregnant and goes missing in New Zealand, and it's about a police officer, a woman who like tries to unfold and figure out what happened, and it is so fucking good.
Is this like a recent?
Yeah, it's kind of new. I think it's like from 2013 or
I've never heard of that.
or something. Yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
Newer. It's with the chick who played Penny on Mad Men.
Oh yeah. I know
Yeah,
what you're
I
talking
forget
about.
her name.
I can't remember it either.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
yeah. Also, love The Killing. That was really good.
There's
didn't
all
see
kinds
that
of. I didn't see it.
That's also a really good one.
There's all kinds of good shit out. That's what I'm saying. Like
It's really
hard for
trendy
me to
right
go
now.
back and watch Friends whenever you have
there's all this other good
terrible
stuff,
murder.
Yeah,
this
to
murder stuff
consume.
on.
So then I
okay.
guess the last book then. So if it was Millennium series, Harry Potter, and the last book was one that's always just been near and dear to my heart. It's called Saving Francesca by Melina Marchetta, and it's a coming of age story about a girl, an Italian girl, whose mom is like depressed and she doesn't really understand why, and like she's just, I don't know, I love coming of age movies and stuff like that also. They're not like my first pick to watch. Like I'll watch them once and I enjoy them. Like I wouldn't watch them all day, but
Yeah.
I know I just grew up reading that book, and I feel like I related to the character. Like I come from a big Italian family and stuff like that, so just really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, that's good as answer as any of them. All right, so the last category you get is things to take with you to listen. So you can have CDs, podcasts, whatever.
Okay. So I would definitely listen to The Daily. It's a podcast by the New York Times with Michael Barbaro. I listen to it every morning.
Really?
Yeah. I love the news. I went to school for journalism, so
true. Yeah, that's a
got
good
into the
point.
habit of reading the news every single day in high school, because I took journalism in high school too, and so I just love reading the news and I
Yeah.
like listening to it. Not watching it though, I think it's a little too biased.
Yeah.
But listening to the news, and he just has a wonderful voice also. I guess other music I would listen to. Oh, that's so fucking hard. That's a
It
hard
is.
one. Because I liked a lot. I guess Carlos Santana.
Really? That's such a, I mean, that's a random answer, but real good.
Yeah, it was my first concert. I grew up listening to like, all the oldies. My dad's like in his 60s now, so Black Sabbath,
that
Carlos
stuff.
Santana, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff. So yeah.
You listen to Greta Van Fleet?
No.
You know who that is?
No.
They're a younger band. Are you a Led Zeppelin fan?
Yeah, I am.
So
Page, love him.
Greta Van Fleet are these young kids, like 21, 22, 23 from Detroit
Okay.
that sound identical to Led Zeppelin.
Really?
They have a song called Safari Song that was like their big hit. I'm sure
What are
you've
they
heard
called?
it. Greta Van Fleet.
Gretel?
Greta Van Fleet. The name comes from, I guess there was an older lady that lived in their town that like let them practice or something. And no, that might have been the Leonard Skinner story that I'm mixing up. Yeah, regardless, I think it was this older lady in their town, and that's just like her name. But it's just these young ass kids that are just super bizarre. You know, he comes out wearing like the same shit Robert Plant had on, like scarves and fur and feathers. But it's the best concert I've ever been to in my life.
Really?
Yeah, they're unreal, and I hated them at first just because I was like, you know, fuck these little kids, just like, you know, kind of biting Led Zeppelin sound. But now that I sit there and I think about it, it's like they're kind of bold for doing it. Like no one's
really bringing that sound back or anything.
Not a person is bringing that sound back. Any sound of any of those people at all. I mean, and these young kids are just killing it, and now they're like mainstream, and they just released their first studio album.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they're super good.
Yeah, I like to listen to Carlos Santana if I'm like doing stuff in my apartment. Sometimes I think it's just like good classic music to listen to. Loved.
Yeah, for sure.
Used to like do air guitar to "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You" and like scream in a made up, a hairbrush pretend microphone or whatnot. I guess another artist I would listen to is Drake. Just classic.
Can't
hip-hop.
beat Drake.
Yeah, can't beat him at all.
I don't know how people hate on him.
Yeah.
Dude just kills it.
God, and like a last one. I like a lot of house music, a lot of like trap music and stuff like that, but I can't think of like one artist because like I just love
Fetty Wap, huh? No,
no, well, like like trap, like
yeah, I know what you're talking, like White Claw or
Jaws,
Yellow Claw and stuff.
Yeah, Yellow Claw and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Damn, I guess maybe Cashmere Cat. He's a producer out of Norway, might be Sweden, I don't know, but he's produced a couple of songs like from Tory Lanez and Kanye West and stuff like that. But he also
Okay.
has his own stuff, and he's just like feel good.
That's dope.
Kind of uplifting.
What other podcasts do you listen to?
I listen to The Daily. I listen to a lot of true crime. I like Sword and Scale, which is like that really creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah. You listen to Serial?
I did, but I haven't listened to the latest season.
It's not good.
Really?
What about S-Town?
I thought that was quirky. I had a twist that I wasn't anticipating.
Yeah, it was super weird. They're
Yeah.
making it into a movie now.
Really?
Yeah. I got like super deep into that rabbit hole after like I listened to it all, and I was Googling all the rose garden and or the
Yeah.
rose maze, like that's all real. Like all that shit's crazy.
Actually, I did the same thing. I didn't believe
Nuts.
it, and it almost seemed like it was fiction.
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
To it.
Like you listen and you're like, this is definitely embellished a little bit,
Yeah.
but then you look it up and it's just like, I guess it was real.
Yeah, I haven't really listened. I mean, I know who Joe Rogan is, and I see him always on the top charts. And I know that he likes what are those chambers?
ISO chambers,
Yeah,
isolation
he's
chambers.
like a big advocate for isolation chambers and stuff like that.
He's a wild one. He's definitely a wild guy. He talks to everyone from people like, people like Ben Shapiro all the way to people like Action Bronson. Like I think that I might be biased just because I'm like a big fan of his, but I think that his platform, like his podcast, is probably, the best way to consume anything, in my opinion, just because if it's important, he brings it up and you know about it, but he also kind of plays devil's advocate with everything and kind of just like, he'll kind of consume all the information he needs to, he'll chew it up and then kind of just explain how he feels about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, my wife doesn't like him. She thinks he's too much of a
well, his episodes are really long,
Yeah.
and I don't tend to listen to episodes. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, if it's too long, then I just kind of like
brush it off.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I do like Up and Vanished. And I've listened to actually some really long
I hated
podcasts
him.
from. You didn't like Up and Vanished?
I thought the content of the story was good, but I hated Payne Lindsay because he made it. I felt like he was just copying everything off Serial.
Yeah.
It just really was just like too much like it.
Well, in the first episode, he said that he was looking for, because he knew that true crime was really trendy, and he was looking for something to make a documentary out of and then turn into a podcast. My issue with him was his microphone. It sounds fuzzy to me.
That, and whenever he'll be like, oh, and Tara Ginsler was found dead laying there. And when's the last time you had the best night of sleep ever with Casper mattresses? And you're just like, dude, like, find a different break.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. They blended in too bad. But, all right. So let's move to the second to last question I ask everyone is a death row meal.
Ooh.
You can pick anything from anywhere as much as you want.
Okay. So it was like, can I take something from one place and another thing?
Literally anywhere.
So I would definitely want a filet mignon from France, probably, because I had some really fucking good steak there. I'd probably also want some beef brisket from Texas, because I was eating beef brisket. I got so fat in Texas. I mean, man, I would loved barbecue.
I just love food.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's the best part about traveling.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd want to make my own Brussels sprouts, because I make the best fucking Brussels sprouts anyone's ever eaten. I always hated the way my mom made them. I thought they stunk. I mean,
what do you do different?
The trick is to let them cook covered in butter until they turn bright green, and then they turn like a dull green. And then when they turn dull green, take off the lid, you put them all on their halves after you've split them in half, and you crank up the heat and you let them get crispy. So they're soft on the inside and crispy on the outside. And that's all I eat senior year.
I make some pretty mean Brussels sprouts myself. That's why I ask.
Okay.
I make honey sriracha Brussels sprouts in the oven.
That sounds really good.
They're good. You should try it. You just cut them in half, 410 degrees in the oven. Put them cut side down. Well, first, brush them in whatever you want to brush them in. I use sriracha, honey, and a little bit of rice wine vinegar.
Ooh.
And you just put them on there and just let them cook. But that's the way to do it.
Huh. I'll have to try that.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I love Brussels sprouts. And I think I'd probably want Korean pumpkin taffy for dessert.
Korean pumpkin taffy.
It's called it's YEOT, and I had it when I was a kid in Toronto. We used to go every year for this cultural festival.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing thing, and I haven't had it since. And so if I was on death row, I'd want to have it one more time.
That's a good answer. All right, last question. The most interesting question is, if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why? Now, usually people will pick a family member. Obviously, you could pick a family member, but if you had to pick someone who wasn't a family member.
Right. Man, that's difficult.
It is. Don't worry, I can cut out any downtime.
The first person that came to mind was Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, automatically. Anytime, and I think I've been asked that before, and I've said other answers because I overthink it too much, but I usually think that whatever comes to your mind first is where your heart is, and immediately I would want to just talk to Jimi Hendrix. Probably want to smoke a blunt with him, too.
He would be an interesting dude, for sure.
Yeah.
I would be very curious what went on in his head.
Yeah. I loved it, all along the Watchtower,
I have the record right over there.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Grew up listening to that, and I always thought he was so cool. And I remember I asked my dad how he died when I was 6, and my dad said, "Oh, his friends, because my dad was basically saying his friends gave him drugs and he got whatever hooked." And so I was always scared of Jimi Hendrix friends growing up. I thought his friends were just gonna kidnap me and make me do awful things. I was just scared. That was my fear growing up.
Definitely wild.
Yeah.
That's a good answer though. It's definitely a good answer. That's I don't think anyone has ever said that. We have all kind of weird answers. Randy Marsh from South Park, and I always tell people Robin Williams.
Okay, yeah.
That's who I would pick. But Jimi Hendrix is a good answer too. But all right, so take whatever time, promote whatever you want to promote.
Yeah, so if you are open-minded enough to check out ASMR, I can be found on YouTube, Lily Whispers ASMR, and then I'm on Instagram, Liliana D.
All right. Thank you very much for coming over and
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
kind of telling me about this.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully it was organized enough.
Yeah.
But thanks for everyone listening again. Follow me. I'll call you right back on Instagram at ICYRB Podcast on Twitter. Call you right back on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Email me. I'll call you right back at Gmail. Let me know who you want on, who you don't want on. Hit me up for shirts. Shirts are made, and these are the last that I have of them. So once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not going to print them anymore. And thanks for listening. I'll call you right back.